Welcome to Missouri Sports Talk. I'm your host, Cameron Staley, and today we've got college football predictions. Now, on Saturday when I was up at Kip Legacy versus Father Tolton, if you guys watched that video, I was having some audio issues. So this is a test video to see if that was just a one-time thing up in Kansas City or if I'm going to have to invest in some new microphones. I did drop one of them, but it wasn't like a hard fall. So I don't know if it really rattled it that much. It really didn't seem like it did any damage. But, maybe I burnt a few $100 on that. So, it's unfortunate, but this is, like I said, this is a test video to see if it's going to keep going. But let's go ahead. Let's get to the games from last week. Missouri scoreboard on your screen right now. We have to talk about Mizzou's homecoming game first. Brady Cook goes out with an ankle injury. He goes to the hospital for an MRI. Game's not looking good. It was 17-6, I believe, at one point. And in the fourth quarter, it's a comeback. And Brady Cook comes out there. He comes back from the hospital, finishes the game off. They have a game-winning touchdown. 21-17 is the final. Mizzou bowl eligible. They are 6-1. Missouri State, they blow out Indiana State 46-21. SEMO, they play Charleston Southern a little bit closer than I said they would. Missouri State, I said they win by 18. I wasn't too far off on that. I think they actually went over what I said. And then SEMO, I said they win by 24. They win by 13. So they didn't play as good as I thought they would. William Jewell, they lose to Missouri S&T. Easton took S&T. I took William Jewell. So S&T played very well in that game. Central Missouri, they spoil homecoming for Northwest. Zach Zabrowski, he bounces back and he throws 3 touchdowns in this game. He looked quite good. 35-30 is the final there. Northwest is now 4-4 this season. And Truman State, they win on the road over Quincy, 28-21. Truman State started off 0-3 this season. They are now on a 4-game win streak. 4-3 is their current record. SEC scoreboard. We'll start with LSU and Arkansas. The game just wasn't close, and that's that. 34-10. This is the largest margin of win for LSU in the Golden Boot game for quite a long time. I can't remember what they said. Florida versus Kentucky. I took Kentucky, just hoping that they'd win that game. Florida takes it pretty easily. Texas A&M, they play Mississippi State a little bit closer than I thought. So Mississippi State is 1-6, but they're actually playing their losses pretty close. Tennessee and Alabama, it seemed like a pretty ugly game. I was more listening to it on the way back from Kansas City than watching. But it was just ugly until the end. It was 7-0 at halftime. And I guess, fourth quarter, the offenses show up. Tennessee ends up winning this game 24-17. I want to say they took the goalpost down after rushing the field. Bama, I want to say dropped to 14 or 15 in the polls now. So it's not looking great for them, if we're going to be honest. And Georgia, they beat the number 1 team in the country, Texas, quite easily, 30-15 on the road, too. It was in Austin. And Texas just didn't look perfect. I mean, they benched Quinn Ewers for Arch Manning at one point in the game. I'm not fully certain what happens with Texas now. I guess this week will be – this one will tell us what's going to happen with Texas, I think. Top 25 scoreboard. Kansas takes it pretty easily, 45-18 on the road. Same thing for Indiana, 56-7 over Nebraska. Did not expect that. I did take Indiana to win, but not by 49 points. Clemson, they win 48-31. High scoring game. Miami, they went on the road over Louisville, 52-45. Another high scoring game. Iowa State, they win 38-35 over UCF. This was a back and forth game. I think Iowa State was playing from behind most of the game. They end up getting it done. And Illinois, they shut down Michigan 21-7. Michigan only able to score 1 touchdown. Didn't look too great. They are out of the top 25. Let's go ahead and get to this week's predictions. The Missouri scoreboard on your screen right now. Let's go ahead, start with Lindenwood and Western Illinois there in the top left. I don't really think this is going to be the most fun game in the world. I will take Lindenwood to pull it off, though. Give me the Lions by 3. Bottom left, Missouri S&T versus Lincoln. Lincoln, hometown team, Jefferson City. I don't think the game's going to be close. I'll take Missouri S&T by 21. Truman State versus McKendree. I think Truman State wins this game by 18. I think they're rolling right now, and it's going to keep going. Southwest Baptist versus William Jewell. William Jewell, I took him last week, and they lost pretty bad at home, but I'm not the biggest Southwest Baptist guy. I don't think they're the greatest team, so I will take William Jewell by 6 points. SEMO versus Gardner-Webb. Now, I don't really think this game's going to be too close. Gardner-Webb, I want to say, is 2-5, so not the greatest team. And SEMO, I want to say they're 6th in the country for FCS. That's pretty good, That's playoff position, so I'll take them by 16. It could be more. It could be less if we're going to go off that Charleston Southern game last week. I really expected it to be more than that. Obviously, like I said, I took them by 24. They went by 13. So I will ride with them by 16. Our Missouri college football game of the week, Northern Iowa versus Missouri State. I think, the games on the graphic weren't that great this week. Not anything crazy going on for the Missouri colleges this week. I think Missouri State wins on the road by 13. Northern Iowa is kind of struggling this year, so I don't think they're going to put up any sort of a crazy fight. I think it could be a little bit close, though. SEC scoreboard. So as you see, Missouri is on this one because we didn't have 6 other SEC games. There are only 6 total in the SEC this week. So Mississippi State and Arkansas is where I want to start off. I think Arkansas wins this game by 15. Kentucky versus Auburn. Battle of the Mid, I'll take Kentucky by 9. Alabama versus Missouri. Now, we all know I like Missouri. But I just think that Bama's the better team. They're coming off a loss. They're going to be at home. Missouri's looking rough this year. Although they're 6-1, they're in bowl eligibility already. They are looking rough, and you can't really deny that. So I will take Bama by 14. Obviously we know who I want to win that one, though. Ole Miss versus Oklahoma. Oklahoma, I want to say, just fired their offensive coordinator, if I saw that correctly. They're playing awful this year, and it's pretty fun to watch given how much trash they were talking in the preseason on social media. All the fans, I should say. All of them saying that Jackson Arnold was going to be a Heisman candidate, and I don't even think he's starting anymore. I think they put in their backup quarterback now. And Ole Miss, they're not playing up to what everybody thought they would either. Everyone was saying that they're a top 10 team. They started off this season in the media rankings as a top 10 team. I want to say they're at 18 now with 2 losses. I do think they win this game, though. Oklahoma's just broken. So I'll take the Rebels by 11 points. Vandy versus Texas. This is what I was talking about when I said we would figure out some things about Texas this week. I think they dropped down to 4 or 5, maybe 5 in the media rankings. And Vandy, they made it in. They are number 25 in the top 25 polls. So they are at home. They already beat the number 1 team in the country, Alabama, at home a few weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. And now they have number 5, Texas, there. So they already beat number 1. Who's saying they can't beat number 5? This is going to be a fun game. I really wanted to take Vandy just for the shock and the thrill, but I just don't know about it. I would like to see Vandy win this game for some college football sake, but I will take Texas by 7. I think even if Vandy gives them a run for their money, it would still be pretty fun to watch. And the SEC game of the week has to be Texas A&M and LSU. This is going to be one of the best games of the week overall, if we're going to be honest. I think that LSU gets this one done on the road by 10 points. I like how A&M's playing this year, but LSU's looking really good. Garrett Nussmeier in there. I like how they're playing, so I got to take LSU here. Top 25 scoreboard. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about Ohio State and Nebraska first. We'll just talk about all 3 Big Ten games first. I think Ohio State wins this game by 21. If Indiana can do it by 49 over Nebraska, Ohio State, in all honesty, could probably go more than 21. But if we want to call a 21-point pick conservative, then I guess you can go for it. Wisconsin versus Penn State. I will take the road team by 17. I think the Nittany Lions get it done. Oregon versus Illinois. I like how Illinois is playing this year, but Oregon is just different. They're number one right now in the country. I think they win this game by 19. Navy versus Notre Dame. Now, Navy's undefeated. They're looking really good. I want to say they're 23, 24 in the polls right now. But, it's Notre Dame, if we're going to be honest. And I get that they lost to Northern Illinois at the start of the season, week 2. At home as well. Northern Illinois came to their crib and got it done. But, I just don't think that Navy has what it takes. Army is playing Notre Dame here very soon as well. I think Notre Dame wins that one as well. Now, obviously, I want Navy and Army to both win these games, but I think that Notre Dame gets it done by 12. Duke versus SMU, big ACC clash. I think Duke wins this one by 5, and I think it's more because they're the home team. That's the big thing for me right now. Both these teams are quite similar with their skills, so I will take the Blue Devils at home. And UNLV versus Boise State. That's going to be my top 25 game of the week. I think this one's going to be fun. Haj Malik Williams comes in for Matt Sluka for UNLV after Sluka had some payment issues with his college. And the backup has been playing better. Williams has come in and led this team better than Sluka was at the start of the season. And they just beat Oregon State last week. I don't want to say it was convincingly, but they beat them 33-25. It was a good win. And Boise State, they're rolling. Their only loss is to number 1 Oregon. So, they're 17 right now. They've only lost to the number 1 team in the country. So I will take Boise by 8 because it's on the road. If it were at home, I'd take Boise by a little bit more. But this is one that I'm definitely going to be watching. But that's all we got for today. NFL predictions tomorrow. I've got a cramped together schedule this week. Got some things to take care of on Wednesday and Thursday. So, in all honesty, I think I'm getting a haircut tonight, but I may actually have to film the high school video tonight. So I'll still have my hair for my Thursday video, but it'll be cut for the Wednesday video in the NFL. So if you've watched this far, then you guys are clued in on that. Don't be scared when you see my hair gone on Wednesday and then it's back on Thursday. So that's all we've got for today. This has been Missouri Sports Talk. See you next time.